Hello, welcome to another edition of Around Town. I'm your host, Larry Crippen, with a very interesting program. We're going to find out a lot about what's going on with the city of Huntsville. We have with us the Mayor Pro-Tem of Huntsville, also at-large position 3 council member, Vicki McKenzie. Welcome to the program, Vicki.
Thank you for having me this morning. It's
good to have you here. We're going to talk about a number of things. We had a little conference before to see what we should talk about, and there's a lot of interesting things going on with the city. There was a workshop on a street projects bond program attended by the council this week. Can you give us a sort of a synopsis on that meeting?
Over the last couple of years, we've really been looking at the traffic in Huntsville and the way that developments are coming in and how people are getting around town. We already know 11th Street's probably the worst area to have to travel. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of roads that we widen and expand or lengthen, and that's going to, with the new developments that we do have coming, it's going to allow traffic patterns to get through town a lot smoother, definitely a lot safer. And as these developments come, the most important part is thinking of the safety and the congestion, that if we're going to grow any type of way, that we're going to have to make those investments. And those investments are critical for our infrastructure and the way that we're moving with the new freeway and just, all those things that are happening.
How is the budget looking? Do you think the city will be able to, do all they need to do?
Absolutely. They are, we're actually working on next year's budget right now. The budget workshops and stuff are happening. The city does a fabulous job with the very limited resources that we do have. Our tax base, a lot of that property that's owned around Huntsville doesn't pay property taxes because it's state owned. And so we are limited, but with what we have, the staff does a fabulous job. One of the things I'm most impressed with is just we have so many amazing employees here in the city, and they just take really good care of our equipment and our, transportation, stuff like that. And, the life of the equipment, how well they extend it and what they do. I know we just really appreciate how much care they take in those things. And as far as, just properties tax, sales tax, inflation is definitely, driving some of that, but, spending is a lot less, and we're making do. We're shifting our spending at the city to where we can offset, some months that we might have a deficit in our sales tax compared to last year.
Well, Vicki, how well do you think the city handled the recent storm issues? Do you see any room for improvement?
As far as the city, the way that they responded and took care of everything, I was super impressed with storm debris, road, repairs and all that kind of stuff. I thought they did a fabulous job. Public Works, they got a standing ovation from us, that's for sure, just from all the work that they did, around the clock, nonstop. But as far as where we're focused right now is our waterways, like Town Creek and different stuff. There's a lot of debris. I know with the freeway construction, there's a lot of sand runoff and stuff like that we're seeing. And so our waterways aren't as deep as they were because of the silt runoff and stuff. So we're really being proactive right now. I know the city manager is working on getting these waterways cleaned out so that this water can flow freely and get through and drain off as fast as it's coming down. But we have had a record rainfall, so it is definitely not expected that we're kind of behind it, I guess you would say, getting these waterways cleaned out.
And, as Huntsville grows, it has to keep up with the infrastructure. How's the city doing on this?
I am super pleased with the way that we're growing. Again, with our limited funds, our general fund and everything else, we have to continue to, pick projects that are, timely for our development and our growth. But at the same time, we have to make sure that our infrastructure is, able to take on, we have federal funding. We got over $1 million from Congressman Sessions' office. They approved for us. We have our lift station being expanded so that we can get some of these new developments in.
And do you think there's any need for improvement for beautification in Huntsville? If so, what do we need to work on?
Over the last few years, I know that we've had downtown beautification as part of our strategic plan. One of the things that I think that we're really shifting our focus from, we added a couple code enforcement agents and employees. And so with those code enforcement plans, really getting behind that is going to be another part of just maintaining all the expenses that we've put into downtown beautification over the last few years. It's really come around. It's really nice to go downtown and see Rather Park and see all the landscape by the Texan Cafe, and it's just happening all over town. I really appreciate it.
And you're in real estate. Do you think we need more affordable homes for families in Huntsville?
Absolutely. I mean, it's very important to have affordable homes with economic development. You could put those two together, honestly. You know, if we're going to bring in CEOs and ask them to bring their businesses here, then one of the things they look at is, you know, are there homes for my employees to buy? You know, is there a healthcare, you know, our hospitals growing and doing so well? You know, how are the schools? You know, they've done a great job with the bond money at HISD, and they're just doing a fabulous job to continue to elevate the standard. Now it's up to us to come up with a plan and some developments that are in that $200,000 range that, you know, teachers and that, you know, state and county employees and that they can afford, you know, and that's the main thing is if I'm going to bring my business here, then my employees don't want to drive all the way from Conroe or Willis. They want to be able to find a home here. And right now, to find a home under $200,000 or in that range, you know, unless it's 70 years old and falling apart, it's pretty much impossible.
Well, Mayor Pro-Tem and at-large Position 3 Council Member Vicki McKenzie, thanks for being our guest.
Thank you so much for having me today. I really do appreciate it.